Hey there, I'd like to welcome you to Intro to Sociology. Today we're going to be talking about socially constructed reality, and we're going to be defining sociology a little bit. So the social construction of reality was a concept from a book in the 60s that came out, a very important work in sociology by Thomas Luckman and Peter Berger. They wanted to produce this work because one of the major issues with the human condition is that we think we know reality when in fact other people's view of realities are just as legitimate as ours. So that being said, we're going to take this little journey, and what we're going to do is talk about socialization a little bit, because that has a lot to do with the social construction of reality. We construct our own reality from the world around us. So we start with our parents, we start with schools, we start with any type of club we belong to, sports teams. Eventually from internet, from media, we draw all of our thoughts, all of our conclusions from all the stimuli that we're taking in from time to time. And we form our own reality on that. So it's important to realize that other people have their own version of reality, and they've only been exposed to so many things, just like we've only been exposed to so many things. So by defining these things, we can create bridges for collaboration. I like to think I use it for community work, for nonprofit work, for different stuff I'm involved in here in my city, and I think you can apply it as well. So, that being said, we're going to define sociology, and I brought a few friends along to help us do that. The first one we're going to look at is John Witt, who defines sociology as the systemic study of the relationship between the individual and society and of the consequences of difference. We learn how and what to think, what we should do, what we should not do, and how to interact with the material world through our experiences and our associations. So that has a lot to do with the institutions we involve ourselves with. It's also important to realize that we draw a lot of bias and a lot of prejudice from these things that we take in, whether we mean to or not, or whether it's a bad thing for us or not. Now we're going to look at what Dalton Cooley here has to say. Dalton Cooley defines sociology as a study of human society. He says there's a sociology of sports, religion, music, medicine, even a sociology of sociologists. So he starts applying this to different fields that we may become acquainted with, which is pretty neat, because we're going to learn how to apply this to so many different things. For right now, we're going to look at the sociological ideas of Chambliss and Iglesias. So sociology, they say, is the scientific study of human social relations, groups, and societies. Unlike natural sciences such as physics, chemistry, biology, sociology is one of several social sciences engaged in the scientific study of human beings and the social worlds they consciously create and inhabit. So we consciously create these worlds, and we're going to learn how to examine those closely through different sociological, theoretical lenses, and to learn how to better critical think about these things. But simply put, Benocrates defines sociology as the scientific study of human behavior in society. Sociologists study behavior patterns that occur between individuals, among small groups, large organizations, and entire societies. So where you might protest, you're unique. We fall under this socially constructed reality of everybody around us. So for the sake of what we're doing here, we can just define sociology as the study of everything around us that's been socially constructed. So I would encourage you to form your own definition based on these types of things. So that being said, it's important to realize when we construct our realities that we're also limited by our language. This is why across cultures there can be so many differences. People in other countries or cultures might have words that we haven't constructed ideas for. A funny one I remember from Germany is Backheidegen. I can't pronounce it right, but what I'm telling you is they have a word that literally means a face worth punching. We don't have a word like that in the English language, so they can construct different ideas based on that. But all countries have their own words that other countries may not have, so we construct our own realities. The person across town constructs their own reality. The person at another school, at another job, have different ideas about different societal things. And this is important, like I said, when it comes to collaboration, when it comes to political differences, when it comes to collaborations across society to solve social issues, whether we're talking about mental health, drugs, homelessness, so many different things that we can examine, healthcare, ageism, racism. We can take these things under this sociological lens and learn how other people think to form an even better reality for ourselves. So I want to welcome you and say thank you for coming on this journey with us. Later we're going to get into sociological imagination and some of the other concepts I just mentioned. And yeah, I'm glad you're here. Let's do this.